Yeah, it's a practice.
Yeah, I'll just wait on. You okay? Yeah, okay. Hello guys, welcome back to Nest Talks. Yeah, that's our name now. Before our name was Happy Nest. Apparently the play on words was not really what we wanted, so we have Nest Talks now. Welcome. I hope you are excited. Today is gonna be a bit different. It's not gonna be me interviewing anyone. It's gonna be me being interviewed. So I'm excited and scared, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy in many ways, but yeah, so we're back. It's just us two one more time, and then hopefully we can get someone else to join our party here. They're invited, and yeah, next time we're gonna interview someone else, but now you know David, and after today hopefully you know a bit of me. I don't know if you want to know anything, but
You should.
But cool. Yeah. So you're the interviewer, so take it away.
All right. I think we should start with a question: what is actually Nest? Because it's a Nest Talks. So a little introduction. What is Nest?
Well, Nest is a co-living space where we are 21 entrepreneurial cool people. It's not that you have to have your own startup. It's just that you need to be in the startup world by mind or by vision, and be full of good vibes. You apply to get into Nest. You fill out a form, and you also upload a video and tell about yourself. And then you come to an interview, which is a bit, to be honest, when I was interviewed by Nest, it is a bit weird, like being sitting there, a bit like an exam, and
Exam.
Not an exam, but like still you feel like, okay, it's a bit awkward, like having these. There was 6 people interviewing me, and it felt a bit weird, to be honest. But it was
serious.
Cool people, and it was nice. But with interviews, it's always like you try to sell yourself in the best way possible. But cool. So that's Nest. Lots of different people, which I think I will tell more about Nest later on. But
Later on,
I have a big vision for Nest. But,
All right.
Cool.
So Rasmus, today we sit down here to interview you, to go through your career and happiness and co-living. So let's start with the entrepreneurship. When I looked at your LinkedIn profile, to me it looked like this great puzzle where you started to work in bars, and then you went to London. You spent there 5 years. You worked for the best bars in London. You got the experiences, and then you come back to Copenhagen, started your own company, and now you just rock. So it looks easy, it looks predictable, but I guess it wasn't. So what made you to go through this career in the first place? When did you find out that, hey, I want to do entrepreneurship?
Well, I've always been attracted to the lifestyle of being your own boss and being able to decide yourself. I think I've done many small jobs when I was a kid, and selling stuff and so on. And then I have also really. I started out actually. I remember first time I got my. I saw my cousin doing bartending and so on when I was young as myself. I thought, okay, that looked cool. I want to become a bartender at some point. But then I got more into entrepreneurship actually, because when I went to London, being a dishwasher back in Aarhus in Jutland, and a dishwasher, you are the lowest in the hierarchy. You're the lowest in the restaurant. Everyone else decides what you're gonna do. So I wanted to change that. So I moved to London, and I entered a bartending school where we were told that if we did really well, we would be able to actually get a job in London. I was actually going for some. I was going up on in Aarhus, in Jutland. I was going up on stage and performing as a comedian. Actually, a few times. I was around 19, 20, 21 years old, something like that. And then I moved to London just like after high school, and just for 1 month actually. It was only lasting that long, the bartending school. But then I was told that if I did really well, I could get a job, and I had to call my boss in Aarhus at the restaurant and say, okay, is it all right if I quit and stay here in London? He said yes, and I decided to really go all in this bartending experience. And
already at the age of 19, 20?
Yeah, I think
right
I
after
was.
High school?
Yeah, I think I was around 20 years old. And I wanted to go into that. And then in London, my form of sightseeing was to wake up at all the different end stations. So I woke up at Heathrow Terminal. And like 2 times in one night, where I fall asleep. I ended up there, then I fall asleep again, and I had to go the other way, and then I ended up at Heathrow again.
Right. But at this time of your life, did you want it to be the best bartender in the world, or did you already think about, hey, I would like to have my own club or bar or something?
Yeah, it's never been about being the best bartender. I think it was. Bartending is for me at least more about, and that's also why I was a comedian a bit, or at least going to these open mics. So it's more about the entertaining part and the making guests happy. Make them smile. I think I'm more. That's more what I'm into right now. Cocktails and drinks is my weapon in order to make people smile. But it could be lots of other stuff, I believe. It's not that it has to be that. 100% not.
Right.
But
so you spent there 5 years? It's quite a long time.
In London? No. I did not. No. I was only there for 1.5 years. But my first entrepreneurial project was over there, where I made an app where I remember...
What is the name of that app?
It's called Get Off in Time.
Okay.
It's because the fun part was I ended up in all these end stations. That was my form of sightseeing, and then I realized, okay, I need to solve this stuff. I need to not do that anymore. So I looked for an app on my iPad, and I couldn't find any. So I decided to make an app. And then I googled how to develop apps. This was back in 2000. It's like almost 10 years. So it's like apps was new. Yeah. It was not something huge.
Right.
So I googled. I found an ebook, and I learned. Okay, either I can learn how to develop apps. That's gonna take me 10 years, or I can find someone that can do it. And then I found someone, an Indian company, really, really cheap. No hard feelings on the Indians, but like they were really, really cheap. And I had a really low budget. So the graphic design, the user experience, everything, functionalities was really, really bad. But I got it in App Store, and I got in the Danish medias and so on with this app that could wake you up before you stop, which was my first entrepreneurial experience, and that was really that was it. That showed me and taught me a lot about how to negotiate and how to get into media and how to market your business and all that.
All right. So what's your situation now? What is your business now? I mean, you have a lot of projects, so just pitch it briefly so we can cover all of them.
Yeah. So I'm in the event industry. If in one sentence that rhymes, if you invite the guest, I'll do the rest.
I really like this phrase on your website. It's the best.
So that's like in one sentence, I would say. We help big corporates with their event planning. So we help with the bar, the music, the food, the entertainment, the location, everything. But we also do and focus just on the cocktails, which is our niche. And then we also sell ice cubes for events that can't afford anything almost, but it needs ice for making drinks. So it's really a tailored package depending on your needs. Yeah.
What is it for you to be an entrepreneur? How does it feel like? Because I just asked you before the podcast that you are alone in this. You don't have any business partners. Is it hard? It must be very psychologically very hard to to go to the forest where you don't know the path, you don't see the direction.
It must be very difficult. A good picture. So I'm into entrepreneurship because it makes me happy. I think it comes down to everything in life comes down to happiness in some way. That's why I'm so into that. That's my main thing. Because if I can design myself to be happy, I'm at the best place. Yeah. Then it doesn't matter really what I do. I could do lots of other stuff. So I really try to, and it's still like it's practice that I have to keep telling myself that I need to focus on my inner happiness. Instead of focusing on because it's so easy to dwell on small, big problems. And if you look at everything in a big perspective, nothing is a major problem. In some way, it's not a major. Like death is a big thing. And I think that's my biggest fear and my biggest motivation as well. That I know I'm not gonna be here forever, which scares the shit out of me. But it's that's also helping me keep grinding and helping me keep my energy level really high. But again, we all have bad days. We all have things to deal with.
Okay, so now you are 28. You have the projects going on. Everything looks great. But where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in a few years? What's your aspirations?
Yeah. So I of course have a vision of conquering the world in my industry, in the event industry, meaning that to have some specific then launch in different countries, of course, than just Denmark. We've slowly started in UK, in London, but we also want to go from there to other places. And of course also conquer UK. But what's again the most important for me is the happiness thing, like that I'm happy throughout the process of conquering whatever, and that I keep my positive drive with me. Not that I am positive every day all the time, but I really try to be. And then I think I've experienced lots of things that made me where I am today, and so on.
So that's geographically. What about when it comes to the service or the products that you're selling?
Yeah. So now in my 20s, I've decided to like this. My 20s is all about learning as much as possible in entrepreneurship and in being the best boss as possible, and also learning about all aspects of it, really. And then I see my 30s as there I go more all in, and then my 40s I see as that's where things is gonna slowly happen, and my 50s is gonna be where it's actually happening. That's how I plan it in my head. Because I think it's a lot about patience as well. Never underestimate that. Like, of course, we should live as we only have one day left. I get that, but I still believe that you should think about life as you are. At least I know that I'm into business and entrepreneurship for the rest of my life. I know I'm gonna be in this field for the rest of my life. Maybe not as a bartender, but definitely in this in business. Because I like that.
And so, what's the hardest thing about entrepreneurship, or what was the hardest on your path?
I think the hardest is to actually build up a team and to get them to feel motivated and feel to build up that team and to actually understand what other people want, you know, and making sure they get that. I think that's tough.
Yeah.
And I think I still deal with that. It's really easy for me to just work and just keep hustling all day long. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
My problem is to get other people to do that, and it's on me. It's not on them. It's not them who has to. It's me who has to find out what are driving them. You know.
So it's also like to ensure the quality that they provide the same quality as you as an owner, and of course you have the natural motivation, etc.
Yeah, but again, it's not important that they are my 100. They are still like if they are. They don't have to be exactly the same. I should allow them to be like do whatever they do. So there's also like I try to give as much freedom as possible, and then trust. I think my problem is also maybe I trust too much sometimes, but I really try to trust people. I have experienced some bad stuff with trust as well, but I think you have to experience something when you
All right. Business. So this would be on the topic of entrepreneurship. Would you maybe have any other last sentence, like a motto or something very clever, that you want those guys to listen to?
I don't know. I think when it comes to mottos and something that I think it's important to have these hustle hard and go hard or go home and so on, and have those pictures of the sentences that can inspire you and help you grind that extra hour. I think that's an important. Podcast with other awesome people is important.
So some specific advice or something.
You need to ask differently. I think it's really broad. I think I don't have anything that's specific when you just ask like that.
Okay, so if you were 18 again, then what is the thing that you would like to hear from someone already experienced?
I think if I was 18, then I would say relax a bit. Don't. Again, it's. Of course, you should go after and pursue your dreams every time, every day, you know. Yeah. But again, I would say the most important is it's also important to learn. Right. And I think you early in the process, it's good to relax a bit, not stress about life, because I also think there's much stress in the society when there's this many possibilities. Then we have to slow a bit down. Yeah. One message I have though, which is the most important of all this. Boom. Everything. Yeah. And why we also do this is because I believe Nest have something that a message that needs to spread out across the world. It's a message that we know, but we still deal with it in society. It's that we still deal with racism and different, and not racism as a specific race, but we still deal with that we spend too much time arguing with each other and too much time, and it's tough. It's really tough, and I don't have a solution for it. But I think it's nuts when you can spend this much time on people coming to the country, for example. People coming to the country, and we see it as how many should we take in? You know, we see it as we want a number on that, instead of actually focusing. Okay, let's see it as a possibility. Let's see, how many can we take and actually get them to work? Of course, they need to work, but some of them can work in startups. I would take some in my startup if I could get them on some kind of deal, of course. Then I should be able to. Then I can find some work for them 100%. and I think that is a debate I want to go into, and that's also one of my missions, because we're all the same. And I actually hope, in some way, I hope robots and technology will just come and take over the world for some time, because hopefully that will, like, another enemy will come and actually take control of the world, so humans realize, hey, we're humans, we need to work together. You know, because like a Nest have that. Nest, we are lots of we're lots of different people from all over the world. Here we live together, we are able to talk to each other, learn from each other, and grow together. And that is also one of my missions. Right now I connect people with cocktails. That's my weapon, again. Someday maybe with something else.